Welcome everyone to Estadio Antonio Maceo in Santiago de Cuba, beautiful Cuba. Cuba hosting Bermuda in the last match day of the second round of the 2025 Concacaf Qualifiers for the World Cup in 2026. Bermuda has never made the final stage of qualifying. Cuba has made it once in 1981, previous to the 1982 Spain World Cup. Will they be able to make it back to that stage? This is Group A action from the qualifiers, and it all comes down to this. Honduras already qualified for the next round. We are looking for a second team to advance to the third and final round of qualifying. Remember, the US, Canada, and Mexico already qualified to the tournament, and it will come down from these two teams. That's the table. Honduras already in. Cuba, if they tie or win, they're into the next round. Bermuda needs the win, needs the 3 points, goes to 7 points. Second, only two teams advanced to the third and final round. The other three teams, Cayman Island and Antigua and Barbuda, already eliminated. So win or go home for Bermuda. Cuba still has the chance of a draw to make it into the next round. Several teams already qualified for the next round of the tournament. From Group B, Costa Rica already qualified, Curacao and Haiti in Group C. In Group D, Nicaragua and Panama. They'll be facing off later today, but they're already qualified in a game that's already drawn a little bit of heat between fans and teams. From Group E, Guatemala and Jamaica qualified for the last round, and in Group F, Suriname already qualified, and then we'll wait between El Salvador and Puerto Rico to see who qualifies for the third and final round, and then the draw next week, and we will have the games later on this year to see who qualifies. Three teams will make it direct into the FIFA World Cup in 2026, the largest FIFA World Cup that we've ever played, and then the two best
Damas y caballeros, pedimos ponerse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Bermuda. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for you to listen national anthem of Bermuda.
Bermuda, of course, British overseas territory.
Damas y caballeros, pedimos mantenerse de pie para escuchar el himno de la selección nacional de Cuba. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for you to listen national anthem of Cuba.
The national anthem of the Republic of Cuba. We'll be ready to get our game on their way. In the blue Bermuda, in the red Cuba, the referee Oliver Vergara from Panama with Ronald Bruña, Walter Sip from Dominicana, as well as Jose Corporan. Some changes in the lineup for both teams. Only for Cuba, new goalkeeper for this game, as Aros Arena will not make the start today. Jordi Jodelin from Desamparados will make the start for Cuba. Official pictures, and then we'll get Karel Espino and Seiko Lewis with a coin toss. Seiko Lewis on the right. And after the official picture, we get number 14, Karel Espino, a player from Comunicaciones. There are players from this obviously qualifying playing in Guatemala. He's one of them. Soler Vergara, Ronald Bruña, Walter Cid, Jose Corporan are officials for today's game. So we'll switch sides. Bermuda will get the first touch, Cuba opting for the right-hand side of the pitch according to our camera. We'll be ready to get the game on their way. Then for Cuba with Jordi Jodelin, Carlos Vázquez and Bravo in the middle, Karel Perez and De La Cruz, Orlando De La Cruz on the right, Espino, Reyes, Catasus, Matos, Raballo, and Aguirre. 4-2-3-1. You'll see Raballo very much up top. The Parma Catch Academy player. He is signed with Parma. He's still in the academy. Only 18 years of age. Yunelis Castillo, the manager for the Cuban national team. The 44-year-old. And for Bermuda, Eve Hill, Carpenter, Twite, Jones Jr., Tucker, Lewis, Parfit, Clemens, Martin, and Hall. Also looking like a 4-2-3-1. We'll see they sometimes change a little bit of their attack. Ends up being more of 4-1-4-1. We'll see how the game starts. For the team managed by Canadian Michael Findlay. Findlay, a coach of the Canadian national system. Assistant in the under-17s, under 2023, the senior team. Became interim Canada national team coach before Jesse Marsh. Then became the Grenada head coach and has been coach in Bermuda since 2023. That's settled done, and Lewis is trying to get the game on its way. In just a few seconds for this to start. Exactly at the top of the hour. Fifth and final match day of the second round of qualifications for Concacaf in Group A. Thank you for joining us here today. Cuba in the red uniform from right to left on your screen. Bermuda in the blue from left to right. One of these teams will be in the last part of qualifying for the 2026 World Cup in the US, Canada, and Mexico. The other team will go home. Cuba, a win or a draw is enough for them. Bermuda, they need 3 points. They need the win. First foul by Bermuda. Pressure by Parfit Williams, number 11. He'll be one of the most successful players on that side, but here's the foul. by Willie Clemens, just a little bit late. And the first contact, new goal for Cuba. Today the start by Jordi Odelin. Touching nice, Matos. Putting it back in the middle, good steal by Bermuda, closing the attack. Carpenter with the touch. As Clemens acts like a pivot in the middle. Touches to Martin. Look at the Cuban defense, 4-line immediately. Getting the coverage. Bermuda is a team that gets shots in the game, that scores highly. They get scored on, but they score highly. Cuba, a team of possession that hasn't been able to really get a lot of goals during the qualification. Matos with a touch, good steal. The pressure by Hill to get the ball for Bermuda. Making the throw in by Lewis. And it's Jones who puts it on the way, has to touch all the way back. The numbers 17, Harry Dwight. Young 19-year-old Clemens, one of the veterans of the team. Just to go forward, looking for Lewis all the way up front. Recovery by Cuba, that looked like a foul. Referee letting the play go on. 3 options on the left. The Bermuda defense recovering quickly, and then about touch, and now can Bermuda get a counter-attack. This could have even been a card. It's going to be at least a little bit of a discussion by the refs, a late tackle. No ball, a little bit of a dive, yes, but also interference late on the ball on a breakaway. Clemens opening to the right with Martin. Martin had Jones to the right. Decides to stay in the middle. Again with Martin. Goes all the way to the left looking for Patrick Williams. One-on-one. Good cut. Recovery by Tucker. Tucker into the box. It's going to be a corner kick. The Cuban defense, Cabafe, not happy with the referee. No, it's absolutely a touch. And the end by Carabespino, the captain. It was the first corner kick of the game. Zayko Lewis, the captain, will see the signal and try to read what they do in corner kicks. Not a lot of space for a wind-up. It's right hand up. And that corresponds to the second post. Good exit by Odelin to get the post. So now we know, right hand up, a second post corner kick. Cuba working with Perez. On the ball, going back. A lot of space. Cabefe sends it all the way to the right. Option all the way to the left. Couldn't get. Clearly Reyes trying to get the ball. The recovery by Perez. Good push. Look at the pressure. Look at the pressure. Of course it's going to be a whistle on the foul on Matos. But that is how Jones wants to play Matos today. Close. A little bit chippy. A little bit of argy-bargy. An obvious foul for Cuba. Into center, all the way to the right. Cuba once again slowly and methodically trying to get the attack. Hand up by Perez. Didn't see him, and now recovery by Bermuda. Stopped by the Cuban defense. You saw the immediate sprint by Perez. Going back to position, this has been an issue with Cuba. Very organized going up, but then not always having the speed to get the line back. Nice through ball on the right for Martin. The one-on-one touches back for Lewis. Lewis in the middle. Going back to Lewis. This is the spot. Martin with the touch into the box and in the back of the net. A big mistake by the Cuban defense. A ball that should have been clear, and Jair Perfect Williams puts it in the back of the net. Here's the touch, the lob, short by Martin. No clearance, no clearance, no clearance, and then the player plays for Haka in Finland. Perfect Williams pushes it. Just a little bit of tap again. Couple of clearance opportunities for Cuba. Perfect Williams with a heads-up play to put it in the back of the net. And in minute 6, Bermuda is up 1-0. The crowd trying to push Cuba back. Remember, Cuba needs the draw or the win to advance for the first time since 1981 to the last part of qualifying. The touch on the left with Perez. Perez with a one-on-one pressure by Twite. The young Bermuda player getting the ball, and now the exit. Touch by Lewis, and now calmly trying the exit, the kick out by Martin. Looked like a foul by Cabefe. 26-year-old playing in Austria this season. You see Carol Espino, a lot more forward than he normally is, the Comunicaciones FC player. Cuba trying to get something going. In 8 minutes, have been dominated by Bermuda. Bermuda again with the opportunity. Trying to save the ball. Is going to be a goal kick for the locals. If you remember, the hope in Cuba, of course, the hope of various Concacaf teams is the 3 teams, at least 2 of them that regularly qualify for the World Cup in Mexico and the US. Canada has always been playing well for the last few years. You don't have to face them. Of course, you have to go through Panama to Costa Rica, but with 3 outright spots and 2 playoff spots, there's a lot more hope than usual for a smaller team, especially with a bigger field in the World Cup. Bermuda's never made a World Cup. Cuba made it once in 1938. They've never been back. It was the 3rd World Cup ever. And they made the quarterfinals of the World Cup, the first Caribbean team to ever do so. Obviously, the one that hurts the most is 1981. The qualifiers for Spain. Made it to the final round, and then they just couldn't advance. Cuba with the possession. Can they get an exit here? Touch all the way to the left. Good touch, Matos. Ooh, does that look like a foul in the push in the back? Oh, no call, and it's going to be a throw-in. Look, at least from the camera angle, like a push in the back for Matos. Oh, Matos for the push first, and then Jones answers in kind. There's one shirt pull there, a second shirt pull there. Referee decided to not call any of them. Bermuda with the possession, interception by Cuba. Well, stopped in the back by Carpenter. And now it's still by Cuba. A little bit more possession. They are a possession team. It is surprising that Bermuda is beating them in the possession today. Calvo finally appearing, Orlando Calvo. Playing on the right back side. Hadn't really been able to make his way all the way to the box. Does it now. Possession by Bermuda. Slide touch Clemens, being the little anchor, the pivot. It slows it down for them. Go back to Dwight. Opens to a left to Carpenter. Hand up for Tucker. Goes back. Take it all the way back to Dale Eve. Only place in the lower divisions of English, Spennymoor Town FC. For Dale Eve, the steal by Bravo. To the right with Reyes. Scored it out by Carpenter. Cuba possessing a little bit of the ball more. Creating some opportunities, but not being able, and that's been their issue. In the last few games, not creating shots. In their last few games. Their last game, a win versus Antigua and Bermuda. That's 73 possession, 73%. Only 3 shots on targets, only 1 big chance in that game, and that's been the Cubans team downfall in many a game this qualifying round. Bermuda taking on the left. Again in the middle, hands up for Jones, and they want to take it back. Very aggressive when they get to the last third of the pitch. Carpenter needs to go all the way back. This is with Dwight. Now Tucker finally gets the ball. Asks Dwight to just go forward. They're going to leave Carpenter as a center back and try not to go back. You can hear the Cuban coach calling al frente, go forward, go forward. And try to force it with Matos. Matos will get to the ball first. 1-on-1 for Matos. Oh, try to put it in front of the box. Good deflection by the Bermuda team. Still by Bermuda, but immediately Cuba. Their back line formed. Bravo. In that pivot role, he can drop and get a 4-line quickly for the Cuban side. Wideness now sitting as a pivot. Harry Dwight. The young and 19-year-old center back Tucker goes all the way down. Carpenter goes to the left. In front of them, Clemens. As it's been most of the game. Injured player Kabafe asking for the whistle. Espino may be feeling lightheaded. It is a hot one today. Karel Espino also looked like he has an eye poke. Captain says, okay, can we see exactly what happened? There's some contact there. Maybe there was an eye poke there that we couldn't see. It is obviously hot in the island of Cuba, 85 Fahrenheit at the moment. And obviously high humidity, 72% at the time of the start. Fortunately, not rain in the forecast for today, as there is a lot of rain in the forecast for the following week. Matos with a lot of breakaways, but haven't been able to really give him the ball in a good position, except once. Good interception by Perez. Perez controlling, but there's no option forward to go all the way back to Cabefe. Cabefe with Espino. Perez asking for the ball forward. Controls, couldn't break it. On the attempt by Aguirre. Option in the middle. With the push. short foul by Dwight on Matos. So they want to attempt at this distance. Just a little bit of touch. He ends up tripping himself, but there is contact by the young Bermuda player, just 18-year-old Harry Dwight. So Catasus and Reyes on the ball. Carol Espino leaving them. For the touch, the entirety of Bermuda. In the back, obviously, Tucker creating a very short wall. And look at the assistant referee up top, ready for the break. The love, Dwight, well placed with the header for the first corner kick for Cuba. Smart touch in the middle, but look at Dwight. He detected it immediately, decided not to go cover Cabafe and just clear the ball out. It's going to be Reyes with the touch too short from 10 to 10. Lewis with the clearance, recovery in the back by Calvo. Several options, the lob into the box, just a little bit too long. No play, the thumbs up by Bravo. Like the attempt, but Pedro Bravo just can't get to it. It's a little bit too long by the Inter Miami player Darion Reyes. Hasn't made the first team yet, but associated with the MLS franchise. And obviously Eve taking all the time in the world. Not the best of goal kicks. And then it's Cuba recovering. Bit of a lob, Raballo, a little bit more included in the last few plays. That's going to be a foul. Called on Matos, went from behind, leg too high, and that was it. Holding, pushing, and then this one. I love Raballo trying to argue his case. And a very, very clear foul. Eve puts it in motion, trying to get all the way to the box. In the middle, Clemens trying to open up. We're recovering the back by Perez. Pressure then forward by Bermuda. Matos, we're going to see Matos going all the way back to the box. Hadn't really seen him go box to box, now he's going to do that. 2 versus 3. Raballo with a sprint. They can't get it to him. Ran out of space. The touch to Raballo. Raballo with the 1-1 to the side of the net. And it's going to be a goal kick. They ran out of space. Raballo with the good sprint. The Torino player, Alessio Raballo. And they ran out of room. Beat his teammate to the point, to the spot. The ball had to be in a very uncomfortable position, and then the touch to the back. Recovery again by Cuba. Good possession though for Bermuda. Oh, that's a necessary foul by Clemens. On Aguirre, we haven't really seen a lot of Aguirre. If you look at the roster from Cuba, he's one of the players in one of the best teams. He's plays for Gil Vicente in the Primera Liga in Portugal. Hasn't really been a start today, but still early in the game, minute 20, Bermuda. If you're just joining us, Parkfield Williams early goal at minute 6. This result will send them to the third and last round of Concacaf Qualifiers. Cuba advances with a draw, or of course a win. Love into the box, nowhere to go. Isaiah Martin trying to defend in the back. And the touch by Diego Catasus. Just away in the back also. They're used to this ball by now. They just played this week, but also remember that. Of course, balls made to the specifications of FIFA, specifications of the rules of the game, but their effect, the way they break in the wind changes not only the design of the ball, but also the weather conditions. They were very humid. You're not going to get a lot of English in the ball. That's going to be a whistle. Way too high in that leg by Hall. But after one touch, if you know you're not getting the break you expected, then you adjust. And leg just too high. By Hall, recovery by Bermuda. It is 3 versus 4. But Bermuda helped getting there on the right. Love, no penalty kick there. Completely in the face, well served and well held in the back by Perez. Heads up player by Matos. Get the quick throw in. A little bit of the benches. Thrown by Perez. Aguirre. Loses the ball to Clemens. Clemens trying to dodge it. Oh, that's an issue in the bench. That's an issue in the bench. No. It's too important of a match to be having this. And I understand the frustrations as the ball went into one of the benches. But this is too important of a match for both teams to be having this. Look at Eve. He's the only one who didn't go. Waiting it out. And even the crowd applauding. They understand the importance of this game. We understand the plays can be heated. We'll see the referee takes any action. Talking to the fourth official. And we'll see if the referee from Panama, Oliver Vergara, decides on any action. This is the Bermuda bench. He's pointing at someone. He says, please clear the way. I'm talking to him. There's going to be one yellow. We'll get the official log to see who the yellow was for. Then I'll walk over to the other bench. So the yellow wasn't to Finley. Still arguing with the fourth official. Who is he calling back? And that is a yellow card for Yasniel Matos. Another place in Guatemala in the municipal bench. So 2 yellow cards. We'll have to see what the first one was for, the second one for Yasniel Matos, in one of the highlights for the Cuban team today. And obviously all this time will be added at the end of the first half. Odelin. That's something started here for Cuba. Not a lot of action for them today. Good touch, Raballo. Stopping the ball and then turning. Reyes going for it. Oh, they're looking for Reyes again. Matos on the back to Reyes. Into the box. Could have been, should have been, would have been a shot and maybe the equalizer for Cuba. And look at the desperation in the crowd. No one there for the tap in. Love and Dwight with the clearance for a corner kick. Bermuda defending well after almost conceding a good shot, good clean shot. Here's the touch by Perez and the clear out. Dwight wants none of it. He's just going to clear it out, get in the corner kick. Couple confusion, almost. A touch from Cuba, nothing more for the Cuban team. I got hydration break. Okay, so now we know who the other yellow card was for. It's for number 12, Detre Bell, one of the bench goalkeepers for Bermuda. So we get the cooling break. That is the other yellow card. So it's Detre Bell from Bermuda, one of their bench players, a goalie, and Matos got the other yellow card. You see the team. Michael Finley, and here, Yunielis Castillo, with the shaved head, the 44-year-old from Santi Spiritus. Took over the team in August of 2023. Only 17 total matches with Cuba before this. This is number 18 for them. Cooling break over, and it's gonna be a long added time at the end of the first half. And honestly, Bermuda doing well, taking all the time they have during the cooling break, waiting for the whistle. Getting instructions. They were the best team in the first few minutes of the game. Scored the first one. Parfit Williams in minute 6. But then Cuba's been getting the better of them. Just they haven't been able to capitalize with a good shot on Bermuda's end. So Eve will play it out. With 15 minutes and has to be at least 4 or 5 minutes of added time at the end. We stopped for more than 3 during that little bit of argy-bargy in the benches. We'll see how much the Panamanian referee Oliver Vergara wants to add. Matos trying to get the header. A little bit of a shirt pull. The touch, but look at Dwight. He's just going to squirt it all the way out for Eve to play it out again. But that is what Cuba's been doing. They've been intercepting the ball and at least reaching the last third of the pitch. Not being able to get any clear shots though so far in the game. The whistle's going to be for Cuba. On the center of the pitch. That's a goal. It's a bit of a shove when trying to control. So it's Cuba ball on the right, on the left with Perez. Ravallo trying to help. Perez had to go all the way back in the bench. They were telling him to go himself. conduce, meaning dribble, you go, but decided to go all the way in the back. Look at Bermuda collapsing on the ball. Getting a double, triple team on the Cuban players. The lob into the box. Blocking for Matos. In the back, Jones. Getting the clearance, Reece Jones, the hardly winning player. Obviously, this being British overseas territory, a lot of the Bermuda players playing in the lower divisions in England. It'll be Catasus with a corner kick. First post clearance. It's going to be another corner kick for Cuba, excuse me. Again, Catasus with a touch. The header back, and it's going to be a corner kick on the other side. 3 in a row for Cuba. Good jump, good timing there by Martin. Just to sweep the ball back. Third corner kick in a row, the touch in the middle, the clearance. And it's going to be 4 in a row. Carpenter wants nothing to do with it. Clears it out. Reyes with a good ball. It's going to be a two-toucher. Bravo trying to put it towards Rabello and getting the clearance. Fourth corner kick in a row, and now Eve with the punch. Can Bermuda build on this? Control, Clemens, touching back. It is 1-0. After 32 minutes of action, thank you for joining us here today. It is the last match day of the second round of the Concacaf Qualifiers for the FIFA World Cup 2026. Cuba hosting Bermuda in Group A action. The winner goes on to the third and last round of qualifying. Bermuda needs all 3 points. Cuba, a draw or a win puts them for the first time since the 1981 qualifying process for Spain. 1982 in the last round of Concacaf qualifying. Bermuda attack. The Cuban defense recovering, and no one to close it out on the right. Just not a lot of pressure by Lewis. Couldn't get to that ball. Look at Dwight, the young number 17. It's played on the right, it's played a little bit on the left, it's played fully center back. That's an obvious foul from Cuba. And possession goes to them. Recovery in the back by Carpenter, both Carpenter and Dwight. Keys for Cuba not being able to really assemble a clean shot today. Couple of vouchers, look at the hands way up in the sky. In the middle by Tucker. Tucker gets the ball. Opens to the right. The 1-on-1 by Jones. Jones goes in the back by Lewis. Lewis into the box, the clearance. By the Cuban team is going to be a corner kick. For Bermuda, Catasus. Wanting nothing to do with it and just sending it out. There's the 1-on-1. Jones on Matos, touches back to Lewis, and then the clearance. Didn't love it. Want to clear it for a throw-in higher up the pitch. Lewis will come for the corner kick. The exit by Odelin. Gets in a bit of a compromised position. Was able to go back to the line. Lewis. All the way to the other side of the pitch. And then the header outside. Ovelin able to get back and get a good save. Another corner kick for Bermuda. Here's Luis sending it all the way to the other side of the pitch for a setup header. That looked like a setup header by Clemens, but ended up being too close to the goal. And Odelin needed to clear it. He had a couple of players behind him. Parfield Williams was there, Hall was there. Try and put it in the back of the net. Corner kick, well fought by Twite. It's gonna be a Cuban ball, but good effort by Twite. Cabafe, all the way back to Odelin, a lot of pressure. In the front by Colejol. Another player from the English football system, with Chorley. Looking all the way up front for Raballo. Controls, but who's with him? Went to Matos, a little bit back, Matos. Looked like he was gonna shoot. Sends it to the other side of the box. Clearance. Started by Carpenter. Bermuda with a possession again. Looking for a breaker with the Hall, but it's not gonna come. On the left to Perez. Perez to Matos. Matos driven to the middle. Raballo looking for Aguirre. Racing the hand, Aguirre with a good turn. Get at least the corner kick. That is what we like to see by Aguirre and Raballo. Aguirre with the dribble, but look at Raballo immediately going back, getting the middle, and you see Aguirre immediately look it up, trying to go to his teammate. Good coverage in the back by Jones. Just send it to corner kick. Oh, Eve is down. We got first medical assistance of the game. We're gonna get the magic spray. We're gonna get a little bit of water. Hopefully it's nothing bad for Eve. Remember, as we had told you before, the yellow card for the Bermuda team was one of the two goalies in the bench. Detter Bell getting the yellow card. CJ Fubler, the other goalkeeper. So they do have two in stock. Eve is the starting goalie. The other yellow card in that fracas was for Yasniel Matos. To me, at least, as of now, is the best player in the Cuban national team. In the middle of the box, a couple of punches, the goal. It's gonna be a foul on Cuba. Ball was above the goal, but it is a foul called on Cuba. The clearance not that effective, gave him another chance, and that is the foul. Just aggressive and from the back. In the touch by Bravo. Gonna see it here. There we go, that's a foul. Nothing was gonna happen anyway, but foul called on Cuba. 5 minutes to go, and we'll see how much aggregate time. You're just joining us here on the game. There was a little bit of a fracas on the bench. That gave us 2 yellow cards. That might make the added time a little longer than we used to in the first half of the game anyway. Couple of yellow cards, we have a couple of injuries. That might add a little bit. Cuba trying to steal, and it's going to be a throw-in. For Bermuda, the Parfield Williams goal at minute 6. Has us 1-0 for Bermuda. Look at Matos. Matos and Lewis fighting over the ball. It's going to be a throw in Jones to put it in play. Tucker can't get control. It's going to be Twit. With the throw in, they're going to try and do a little further ahead. The referee just says, look at Jones. Got a couple of meters there without the referee looking. The steal goal for Cuba. Oh, looking for the through ball for Raballo. Can't get in, late foul, and this is going to be the first yellow card of the game. A late challenge from the back from Dairon Reyes to veteran Willie Clemens. And that is the first yellow card in action of the game, second one for Cuba. It's just a late push with no ball, and very obvious yellow card. Remember, Matos had one on the fracas on the bench. In action, over a foul. This is the first yellow card of a game that's been, honestly, regarding fouls, very clean. Not that chippy. And Clemens, of course, taking all the time. And he just looks like a bad steal attempt on Reyes. I understand what he was trying to do, just late to it. He needs to leave. There's going to be a little bit of a chat with Clemens. It's going to be a Bermuda ball. Asking for everyone to go forward. It's not even going to be played by Jones. It's going to be Eve who plays it out, and they're ready. Wasting a little bit of time. It's only the first half. The whistle called. Oh, that could be a yellow. That could be a yellow on the protest by Hall. You heard him very clearly. Ref, what are you calling? What Cole Hall told the assistants. Remember, one assistant today from Panama, Ronald Bruña, the other one, Walter Cid from República Dominicana, Dominican Republic. Control by Odelin. Odelin opening to the right. One more minute and we'll find out how much more football we'll have in the first half. Matos pressuring Eve just for him to pick it up and play on. Jones asking everyone to just go forward. Try to look for Hall in the middle. Recovering the back by Tucker. But now Cuba with the play. Raballo touching in the back. They're going to escape down the right. The one-on-one, 4 options in the box. The reception by Aguirre. And it's going to be a goal kick. Aguirre knows he could have done more with that ball. Cuba once again getting to the last third of the pitch. What a mistake there by Clemens. Aguirre, I think it's just surprising. It's only going to be 3 minutes of added time in this first half. With Bermuda leading the way 1-0. What a mistake there by Bermuda. Aguirre, I think, just surprised. They had a control there early. Matos smashes the ball. Nothing there. Jones tight on defense. They haven't really parked the bus, but Bermuda just very effective on defense today. Controlling him by Cuba in the back. Spino. Touching toward the right. Bermuda with the recovery. To the goal. Will they try and make something, or will they just hold to try and get to the whistle? A little bit of time wasting there by the man who scored the only goal so far, Parfitt Williams. Into the hands of Oderin. And that is going to be a yellow card. And now the bench is getting chippy. Lewis late on the play. A second action yellow card in the game. A fourth yellow card. Just late. Just very late. Way in the back. Matos, obviously. Adding a lot to it, but it's by the book. It's just late without the ball. Studs to the ankle. It's an obvious yellow card. So now we have another one in the game. So Zeko Luis with the yellow. Remember, he's teaming in the bench. Detcher ball with the other yellow. Matos and Reyes in the pitch with yellows for Cuba. Perez to play it out. Into the box. Aguirre can't really control it. Can Bermuda get a breakaway here? Oh, they're looking for Zeko Luis. Good defending. Aguirre. Whoa, wanted the through ball. Good recovery by Clemens. Now the kick out. Odelin playing it out. And that is the whistle. Chippy game in the end of the first half. But it is 1-0 with the J. Parfitt Williams goal at minute 6. Bermuda leading after 45 minutes of play. Remember, Bermuda need to win to advance to the third round of qualifiers. Cuba is advancing with a draw or a win today here at home. That is the man with the goal. That is the man responsible for the score. 1-0 Bermuda leading after 45 minutes of play in the second round of qualifiers for Concacaf. 45 minutes down, 45 to go. Group A action in the second round of Concacaf Qualifiers. Between Cuba in the red, Bermuda in the dark blue. Cuba needs a draw or a win to move on for the first time since 1981 to the third and final round of qualifying. Bermuda need the win. They're leading 1-0 after 45 minutes of play. Thank you for joining us here today. A key game in CONCACAF qualification. Referee Oliver Vergara from Panama ready to get us underway. Who will advance to the last round of CONCACAF qualifiers? We have 45 minutes to figure it out. Cuba, the hosts, in red from left to right on your screen. Bermuda in the blue from right to left. They're leading with the early Jair Parfit-Williams goal at minute 6 today. No subs for the second half football. No subs on the first half. Lewis for Bermuda with a yellow card. Matos and Reyes for Cuba. On the bench, Detrabel, one of the substitute goalies for Bermuda, with a yellow card too. Dutch in the middle. We haven't seen a lot of Aguirre and Raballo today with Cuba. Look to have their game go a little more through than Hall. Can't get the ball, and Odelin, which not putting blame on him, but he didn't play in the last game with the Antigua and Bermuda, just 1-0. Could have done a little more in the goal. Defense and him could have done a little bit more in the goal. Not an accidental goal. As we see the lineups with Odelin, Perez, Vasquez, Bravo, and De La Cruz. In the back for Cuba, Espino, Catasus, Matos, Reyes, and Aguirre, with Raballo all the way on top. For the Cuban side on the right, stopped by Reyes. Touching going back, Calvo. Calvo with the love, good defending by Twain. He had Matos coming from behind to try and get the header. Good sprint back by Calvo to build the 3-lane again with Espino and Cabafe. They're with him. It's going to be a foul on Cabafe. For Bermuda, just a tad late. Just a tad late, and from behind, also Hall. All the experience by Hall, 26-year-old playing in England. Cabafe, part of Dornbirn in Austria. Where the Cuban player is now the lineup for Bermuda. In the bottom of your screen, the shot. Nothing there for Martin. As he tries to get a bit close and open contact, but maybe got a little bit of late changes in the shot by Bravo. Bravo just very tight on that ball, and then the shot by Kazaya Martin just a little bit outside. Hands up by Calvo. Haven't seen a lot of Calvo. Cuba really didn't try to go up on the right. They mostly be attacked on the left with Perez and Matos in the first half. Aguirre lets it through. The touch forward. Back at the Sus, the 1-on-1. And then the late shot, no space. In the end, oh, Bravo. Feeling in the right ankle. Would love to see a replay. There we go. This is going to be a good shot. Bravo with the shot. What happened? Oh, yep. Oh, that's going to be. Can he continue? Look at his left foot. Gets stuck on the pitch and just completely flexes there. All the way back. That was the left. The right one did so too. Having more on the right, but it was not the best of landings for Bravo after the attempt. A little bit of the magic spray, and hopefully Bravo will be all good for the rest of the game. Says I'm okay. There we go. A little bit of a jog attempt in. Signaling to the bench that he's okay. Eve, just a short touch. He'll open on the left and try to go down the middle. Through pass to no one. And control in the back by Espino. Espino in the middle. Options on the right. Control by Catasus. Catasus looking for the lob. Good idea. Looking for the lob to Raballo. Can't get the opportunity. The one-on-one. Sure whistle. Aguirre just a little late there, making the pressure with Catasus. On Parfit Williams. There it's just left the foot a little. Laid it outside of the touch and got it there. The one-on-one. Good opportunity wasted. By Bermuda, covered by Cuba. Aguirre. Touch it back. Got it back. Loses it, but now recovery. By Reyes. Reyes all the way to the left. Touches it. Good defense in the back. By Bermuda can't quite get the clearance, but at least stops the danger from Cuba. Calvo. The through ball. Clemos tight on the coverage, and then just waiting exactly for that for Parfit Williams to arrive so he can clear in the back. Hall and Tucker. It's a little bit late on that ball and all the way back to Odelin. A lot more action in these first 6 minutes of the game so far, with two teams that know what they need to advance. Good recovery by Hill. The one-on-one, the pressure by Catasus into the box. Just a little bit too strong for Hall to get a clean header of an Odelin who looked beat if they could have gotten the header there. That'll be Bermuda ball. Raballo didn't like the serve. Haven't seen a lot of Raballo this game. Bermuda with the late recovery. Options on both sides. Tries to the through ball, looking for Hall. Little bit of push in the back, no whistle. And Cuba, away they go. Just a bit too late for Raballo. And I think that's been kind of the constant. It's going to be a throw-in for Cuba. Raballo just a little bit too quick for his teammates. He's doing what he's used to. This is the way he plays. Remember, he's a young player in Italy. Does it well, but he's just a little bit too quick for his teammates. And when they find them, he's already too deep. Maybe I need to adjust by Raballo just to be a little bit slower. Try and get something there. Move on with the possessions options on both sides. In the middle with Reyes. Reyes playing on the left and in the middle. He's playing all the way on the right side in the first half. Oh, look at the frustration in the crowd. And it's not that Bermuda. I don't think they were the underdog, but they are a good team. But there was a feeling of hope in Cuba of this being a game they could win, not easily, but that they could win. It hasn't been the case. Bermuda this qualifying round drew with Antigua and Barbuda 1-1. Got thrashed, there's no other way to describe it, by Honduras 6-1, and then beat Cayman Islands 5-0. Whilst Cuba lost 3-1 to Honduras, beat Cayman Islands 3-0. And then just a few days ago beat Antigua and Barbuda 1-0 to 1-1. Again. In the back holding the ball, but Hall getting more and more opportunities on the Bermuda side. Cavefe. Well, it was just a little bit too deep. Good coverage by Cavefe. Eve with the save in the back, Cuba. Trying to knock on the door. It was Matos with the lob. And again, Raballo now slowing a little down. He just can't communicate. Raballo was asking for the ball asking for the ball down on the pitch, not a lob, and just can't really communicate with his teammates today. Clemens with the coverage. Perez. In the middle to Bravo. All the way back, and we'll see Odelin controlling and now opening. On the right with Espino. Espino, nice play. The 360 by Calvo. Opening to Raballo, not playing on the right. Seen him all game in the middle. Now he's going back to his spot. Raballo's for the ball, couldn't see him. Couldn't connect. Reyes looking for the through ball. The one-on-one, the lob in the back. And Aguirre knows that he just missed the cleanest opportunity they've had all game. A well-constructed play and just sent it all the way up top. Matos out of the game. Catasus out of the game. The two subs by Cuba. Marcos Campos is taking the place of Catasus. Once away the replay. And it was Catasus with a touch. And then just Aguirre. And I know there was pressure. I know there was a push, but I think at least that needs to be on the pitch. William Pozo with his first touch after subbing for Yasnier Matos. And Pozo, first touch, and immediately gets a shot off, bringing some life back into the Cuban national team. It doesn't even matter. It's not that outside, but it doesn't even matter. Just the fact that he recovered, controlled, dribbled, shot, and got a clean shot off for Cuba in this moment of the game means a lot. Again, the recovery now on the right with Calvo. The through ball once again in the back of the net. Aguirre was not going to miss a second one. Puts it in the back of the net, and Cuba has tied it all at one. A good touch on the right, and then Aguirre was not going to miss this one. And look at what Marcos Campos and William Pozo have done since the moment they took the pitch. Pozo, first touch, gets a clean shot. Campos, first touch, sets up the assist for the Aguirre goal. Aguirre just missed one. The cleanest shot Cuba had gotten until then. He's not going to miss a second one. Puts it in the back of the net. Remember, this result sends Cuba through. Bermuda need another goal. They need the 3 points to move on. Will we see subs on the other side? Again, trying to keep hold of the benches. That was the Cuban bench on the right. So 59 minutes through. Cuba tying it up 1-1 at home. They looked like the better team at the start of the second half, and then the switches. Getting Pozo Campos involved in the game made him a better team. On paper, they are the better team. They just haven't been able to prove it today in the pitch until now. Finley asking for a little bit of adjustments on the pitch, but just 3 players warmed up for Bermuda right now. Let's see if we receive any subs quickly. With the visiting side, gonna be a foul. And what we didn't see apparently, Ismael Morgado from Cuba got yellow carded when we saw the referee coming back from the Cuban bench. That'll be a 3rd yellow card on the Cuban side. But remember, Matos not already out of the game, so nothing to worry there. Morgado, the substitute goalie, not even the first substitute, the second substitute, Rosarena. Normally the sub. Not on the bench today, though. The touch all the way up front. The header now is going to be a throw-in. For Bermuda, there's confirmation. Ismael Morgado with a yellow card on the bench. Fourth official. Another referee, not only calming Parfit Williams, I think he needs to have a word with the second official, with the fourth official too. Give the ball to Calvo. So that's a little bit of an aggressive gesture. Referee saying just take it easy, we're all good. It's too many yellow cards for actions not on the pitch today, so understand it's a heated game. And then also, end of the second half, just got a little bit chippy in there, and that's when we saw the last yellow. Eve with a kick out. Cuba winning that battle. Can they move it up front? Aguirre with the touch. Cuba controls. Turn around by William Pozo. All the way back to Adelin. Back to Cabefe. To Adelin Bermuda. Not any hurry to push or press. And I think we have less than 30 minutes. This is the time to press. Aguirre with the control. Gets the goal kick. Looked like it was going to be a corner kick. Fans disappointed. There's a replay. Aguirre almost like a American football wideout. Looking for the ball. And it looks like there's a little bit of an Aguirre touch at the end. He's going to bounce it off. Looked like it touched his foot again. Ended up being a goal kick. Bermuda control with Hall. Puts it back and goes into his plays, asking for the through ball. Pass just not strong enough. Dwight, a little bit confused, controls. But can Bermuda get out? Whistle. Gonna be a little bit of a talk, not a yellow card apparently. But just a bit of a talk after the foul on Jones. Reese Jones, the hardly winly player. Gets a sweep by William Pozo. I see a lot of frustration in Bermuda players. It's going to be Dwight that puts it in motion. 65 minutes almost played. Last match day of the second round, of the Concacaf Qualifiers for the Canada, US, Mexico FIFA World Cup in 2026. Cuba looking to make it back to the last round of qualifiers for the first time since 1981 when we were qualifying for the World Cup in Spain. Control by Hill. Covering is going to be the goalkeeper for Cuba. You can certainly see a lot of the energy that the Bermuda players had. No longer there. A little bit of a big anemic drop after the Cuban score. Edu Aguirre with a goal at minute 57. Parfit with the early goal for Bermuda. This result will have Cuba with 7 points and going through to the third round of qualifiers, while Bermuda will finish third with 5. The Cayman Islands and Antigua and Bermuda already eliminated before this last match day. Several teams qualified already today. Before we started the games, Honduras, Costa Rica, Curacao, Haiti, Nicaragua, Panama, they're playing later on today. Guatemala, Jamaica, Suriname, already into the last round of qualifying. Remember, position in the groups does not play into the drawing for the last round. They will be seeded by their FIFA World Ranking. Cuba looking for the clearance. At least get a partial one. Bermuda will recover, but at least that dangerous opportunity. Good break on the right by Bermuda. Lewis just missed the last touch. Went there for the slide. It's going to be a Bermuda ball. They take the handle quickly. All the way deep, and it's going to be a corner kick for Bermuda. Perez tied on the ball with Lewis. Jose Lewis able to get the corner. There's the clearance corner by Perez. So right hand up as second post, far post. It is again with good clearance by Cuba. Aguirre trying to get there. Raballo, it's going to be a whistle with a push in the back. Raballo clearing, and Aguirre getting it to try and feed in the ball. Going to be a couple of subs on the Bermuda side. It is Aundatar and Reggie Lamb who is leaving. It is Keziah Martin is leaving for Aundatar, and Cole Hall is leaving for Reggie Lamb. So the two subs. It's a foul of frustration there by Carpenter. Just laid a push on Dwight on the bench, on the pitch, and he's okay. They're saying like he's okay. There's no need for a sub. So it's only going to be Todd and Lamb on the pitch. On the Todd, the young 20-year-old. Reggie Lamb from Anita Market, 34-year-old veteran for the Bermuda national team. Todd looks okay, at least on the touchline. Get the game on their way in. They'll ask It's going to be another sub for Cuba. It's Camilo Verkamen, number 3, it's 2, and Martin, number 17, who's leaving. Edo Aguirre, the man with the goal, leaving. And Dairon Reyes. So you're taking a couple of forwards out and subbing with one defender in Camilo Verkamen and a forward in Martin. Martin Rodriguez, very young player, only 19 on the Cuban side. Camilo Verkamen Pinillo, the 20-year-old, also out. So you're adding one defender, and then you're getting fresh legs in one of the forward positions. Maybe trying to accompany or at least feed Raballo up front. Cuba controlling the left. They would love to get a second one here today. So they've used 4 of their subs. We'll see what they can do with the last substitution. Going back to Carlos Fino, the captain. Controlling pressure by Zeko Lewis. Calvo trying to go back, the one-on-one. It's a little bit like great piece of defending. In the back by Camilo Pinillo. Just getting to the ball first, getting the slide, and we have to credit the subs being done today by Yunielis Castillo, the Cuban coach. 4 subs, and out of those 4 subs, 3 of them literally making impact on the game on their first touch. If you remember, William Pozo getting a shot on goal very quickly. Then Marcos Campos assisting on the Edo Aguirre goal. And now Camilo Pinillo with a great piece of defending in the back to save a one-on-one opportunity. Pedro Bravo with the clearance and then immediately talking to his teammates. Reggie Lamb for the corner kick. Second post. Harry Dwight can't get to the header. Julian Carpenter. But now Cuba with the breakout with his opportunity on the right. Good piece of defending by Tucker. I could hear one of our ambient mics, they're saying someone else is injured. If the game has a natural stoppage, there might be a sub. Parfit. To the middle. Cuba choking the life out of them. A 5-4-1. They will not let them through. Tucker asking for the ball. Carpenter on his left. Tucker down the middle. The through ball. The one-on-one. And in the back of the net. Reggie Lamb. Second touch of the game. Puts it in the back of the net. Bermuda leads 2-1. A slow developing play. Looks fair to me. Good recovery by Orlando de la Cruz, but then Lamb, with all the experience in the world, lets de la Cruz to overplay it and then shoots to kill to Jordi Odelin. And that just years of experience, letting Orlando de la Cruz overplay it and then getting a clean shot to put it in the back of the net. Bermuda up 2-1, and there was an injury. And there is a stoppage, so Reggie Lamb with the goal in minute 73. And it's Jones. I don't think they're going to need the stretcher. But Richard Jones is injured. Referee asking them to leave in the closest line. Will they ask for the subs? They're calling the radio. See if they need the sub. Fourth official asking for the referee. There's going to be a sub. Eusebio Blackendall go into the game, ready to go into the game. Fourth official Jose Corporan. Talking to referee Oliver Vergara. Maybe something happened on the bench. That's a yellow card for a bench player. On the Bermuda side, second yellow card for a bench player. On the Bermuda side, I think he's going to allow the substitution to come in. So it's 10-14. It's Sachio Ming for Captain Zayco Lewis. And Richard Jones Jr. is out. Subbed by Eusebio Blackendall. Blackendall a defender, Jones a defender. Zayco Lewis in the middle of the pitch. Sachio Ming, normally a forward. We'll see where Ming lines up. He stays in the middle of the pitch, like Lewis was. So one sub left for both teams. It is minute 77, 13 to go, and it's full of drama. Bermuda scored early in the game at minute 6. Parfield Williams given the advantage 1-0. Ero Aguirre was able to equalize at minute 59. Remember, Bermuda needs to win Cuba. Draw or a win puts them through. And then Reggie Lamb, the veteran sub, got the go-ahead goal for Bermuda. So with this result, it'll be Bermuda going into the third round of Concacaf Qualifiers. You on the left. Gonna put it in the middle, couple rebounds. Can't get the clearance. Ball still in play. Interception by the Cuban side. Can they get another technical slide? Tackled by Bermuda, but Cuba with the recovery into the hands of Eve. Remember that third and final round of qualifiers. 2 matches in September, 2 in October, 2 in November. And we will have 3 more teams for the FIFA World Cup. And 2 more will be in the Interconfederation players. We have confirmation that it was Enrique Russell, number 7 of Bermuda, that received the yellow card on the Bermuda bench. Joins Der Trebel has the 2 yellow cards on the bench for Bermuda. There's confirmation of Enrique Russell with the yellow card. Orlando de la Cruz asking for the ball on the other side. 11 minutes to go. And there haven't been many stoppages. Can we get a one-on-one here? Good play by Twite, the recovery. And it's a whistle and a penalty kick. Bermuda saw it as a clean play. The toy defending toy, now the young player, the captain. But the call on the pitch is of a penalty kick. There's no contact. We'll see. I think the referee actually called it outside. I don't see a lot of contact. I personally don't see a foul. And we'll also see where the referee called it. Did he call it outside as a free kick? If he called the foul, he was inside. It's going to be a free kick outside. I didn't see a lot of contact with Dwight there. And ends up being called outside. It's going to be a free kick for Cuba. The crowd also thinking it was a penalty kick by the referee, Carlos Espino and Martin. And will we get a set play? Will we get a shot? Martin looking to shoot with the left. Carlos Espino looking to shoot with the right. Drama at its highest peak in Cuba. It is Martino! What a save in the back by Delive! Flying to the right. None too bothered. A great shot by the Cuban forward, but look at Eve. Not only the save, getting the power to punch it out of play. It's going to be a corner kick for Cuba. Good save by Delive. He's been solid most of the game. Corner kick outside. It's going to be a goal kick for Bermuda. Oh, it looked like Pedro Bravo pulled something. Kinetic tape over both of his knees. Been a long season for everyone. These are always the hardest qualifiers. When you're playing qualifiers May, June, tourneys in June and July, it's always the toughest. The goal kick by Bermuda. Looking to control Cuba. Trying to clear it. And it's going to be Ave. No issues in the back. Bermuda not sleeping on the laurels. They won a third one. Good steal in the back by Cuba. A lot of speed. Look at Martin in the middle. But once again, it is no surprise that Harry Dwight is now getting the captain armband. What a game by number 17. Pressuring, pushing. Playing center back, playing on the wings, doing everything today to try and get Bermuda to the third round of qualifying. Touch by Cuba on the left. In the middle. And to the right, Cuba makes something happen. Good touch to Martin. He can't get the lob. Good block by the Bermuda team. It's going to be a throw-in, but he needs to go a lot further in the back. Then they have good coverage by on the Todd. One of the subs today. They still have one sub on the Cuban side. We'll see if they want to use any of their forwards. They still have some on the bench. They have Michael Reyes. They have Onel Hernandez. If they just want to throw someone else up front. Now it's all hands on deck for Cuba. Minute 84, Martin with a touch on the right. It's going to be a throw-in for Bermuda. Will Cuba make their fifth and final sub? Again, we're saying forwards. They still have Michael Reyes on the bench and Onel Hernandez. Or the official with the board. But we're going to get the throw in first if there's any subs. I'll look in the middle of the pitch. See if there's any subs. Controlled by Cuba. On the outside. Going back. Caral. Espino, the captain. In the middle. Good opportunity, Orlando de la Cruz. Losing the ball. And Bermuda just trying to make time. There is a Cuban player in the middle of the pitch. We will have a fifth and final sub if the ball exits. And one would guess we get either the Norwich City player, Onel Hernandez, or the Managua FC player, Michael Reyes, one of the forwards. There's going to be a sub too. For Bermuda, Roger Lee is going to be the last sub. For Bermuda, he is a midfielder. So Orlando de la Cruz is out. We're saying Michael Reyes or Onel Hernandez. It is Michael Reyes. And listen to the ovation for Orlando de la Cruz. So that is 5 subs for Cuba. And of course, get another forward. Into the pitch, and we'll see if Roger Lee goes into the game. For Bermuda, he was standing right there. Oh, Eve asking. They'll Eve for assistance. Najai Tucker is leaving apparently. So midfield for midfield, position for position. Najai Tucker leaving. Roger Lee into the pitch, fifth and final sub. They're not going to let him do now. They're not going to let him sub now. Oh, they're asking him to leave on the other side of the pitch. Oh, they're asking him to hold it because if the keeper is injured, they will have to sub the goalkeeper. They want to see if Dale Leave is okay and can continue. So they're asking to hold the sub, but will they allow them to hold the sub? There's the sub. And the assistants just talking to Jose Corporan, the fourth officials, telling him, hey, we just wanted to hold him in case Del Eve was injured and we needed to change our goalkeeper. So Tucker out, Lee in, all 5 subs per team. It's going to be Campos. Place is short. Bermuda wants to clearance, 3 more minutes. Then we know how much we will get in aggregate time. Martin looks for a turn on the heel touch. In the back for Marcos Campos. Gets the lob! The header. Can't connect. Martin heads it into the middle of the box. Cuba with the recovery. Every Cuban player all the way up front, and that's when they want to get a breakaway. It is 2 versus 2 on the goalie. Can Bermuda get a third one? That will certainly stop the qualifier, the touch in the bag. Good defending. In the end by Cuba. Sacho Ming can't complete the touch. Camilo Verkamen played well since he went into the game. This touch being a little forward, Sacho Ming would have gotten a shot off. Good recovery by Verkamen to save it. Minute 88 is going to be a corner kick for Bermuda. Reggie Lamb to play it out. The man who scored the second Bermuda goal. There's the line, and he's asking for the Cuban players to be behind it. Carrying for the ball, it's going to be a throw in for Bermuda. Hill, obviously taking all the time in the world. It's a short throw in. Can hear the instruction from the bench, keep it in the corner. Here we're just wasting time. Oh, whoa, a little bit of argy-bargy. Tempers flaring at the end of the game. They're asking walk away. There is a yellow card. It is for Jer Parfit, the man who scored the first goal, Parfit Williams. As Cuba moves it quickly. Minute 90. So Parfit with a yellow card. We knew it was going to be a tough game. We knew it was going to be a chippy game, and there we go. Yellow after yellow after yellow today. 20 seconds, and we'll keep an eye out for the fourth official to see how much added time. It didn't look like much, but then at the end we've had several stoppages and injuries, especially the last one with Del Eve, which could add. With opportunity. No call. It's going to be a foul, Cuba. William Pozo with a foul. Let me see how many minutes of added time. It was a 1-on-1. And you know this, when both players are pushing and pulling, the offensive player will get the call. He made no call and then a handball call on William Pozo. That's the call, the handball, when Pozo falls. Still haven't got an image of how many added minutes today. There's 1 minute of added extra time already played on. It's going to be 6 added minutes. One of them down, 5 to go. We knew it was going to be over 5. There were several stoppages in the end that we're going to accumulate to get us to a number. Into the middle of the pitch, the clearance by Twite. Good steal by Cuba. Can they get something going? Martin on the right. Pushing, pulling, William Pozo. With control. Back to Martin, good sliding tackle. By Bermuda, Jer Parfit. Trying to control the rebound on Espino. It's going to be Cuban ball again. Vasquez with control. Can he get to Espino on the right, or will he go forward? He pushes on. Looking for the left, and once again. Now Captain Harry Twite with the clearance. 2 down, 4 to go of aggregate time here in Cuba. It's going to be Eve who'll place it out. Cuban ball, 3 down, 3 to go of aggregate time. Quick play by Odelin. And they're just dumping balls in the front, see what happens. And Bermuda able to control, able to recover. Gonna get a 1-on-1 here. Oh, the crossbar, what could have been a sentence to Cuba. Oh, and this is gonna be another yellow card on Bermuda. What a miss by Lamb. This is just late. It's a yellow card, not a red. Hard foul on Marcos Campos. Lamb could have put it away. Smashed it on the crossbar. And there's the yellow on Roger Lee. If Bermuda moves on, we'll have to keep an eye. Cuba pushing forward. 2 minutes to go. And could have managed the clearance. And that is the touch just over the crossbar. Reggie Lamb could have just sealed it there for his side. You don't have to go. Bermuda push it on. Bermuda, such a small team. It's only made it once to the Gold Cup, 2019. Deciding not to enter as close as 2015. The last World Cup qualifier can only muster 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses. Eliminated. Thor scatter, and now they're 40 seconds away. Looking to make it into the third and final round of qualifiers. Push it on. Can Cuba make a miracle happen in the last minutes of the game? Bermuda controlling, and the Cuban team seems they have lost it all, and that's just a late, desperate foul that will allow the Bermuda team to kill time. A hard tackle just late, and you can see the frustration on the Cuban side. We're past the 6 minutes. There are a couple more stoppages that will be added to the 6 minutes, especially this one, the longer one. Eve is going to play it out. Just handing it over to Avelin, and that's the final whistle. Bermuda joins Honduras as the 2 qualified teams from Group A to the third and final round of qualifiers. They join Costa Rica, Curacao, Haiti, Nicaragua, Panama, Guatemala, Jamaica, and Suriname for the third and final round of qualifiers towards the dream of making the 2026 FIFA World Cup. They'll play 6 more games, 2 in September, 2 in October, 2 in November, to try and make it happen. Cuba at home, unfortunately, they were looking to go into the last round of qualifiers for the first time since 1981, the qualifiers for Spain 82. All they needed today was a draw. It looked like they had it with the equalizing goal by Edu Aguirre at minute 59. They couldn't hold on to the lead. And 16 minutes later, Reggie Lamb as a sub puts it in the back of the net, and Bermuda is now through to the third and final round of the Concacaf Qualifiers. What a game by Bermuda. It looked, especially at the beginning of the second half, that Cuba had the upper hand. But the subs, and especially the Reggie Lamb go-ahead goal, took the lead, never looked back, played a great rest of the second half, and was able to hold on to the score. They win it 2-1 on the day, and they advance to the third round of the Concacaf FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifiers. Highlights from our game. Bermuda beating Cuba 2-1 first half. Couple of mistakes in the clearances in the first goal of the evening. Perfect Williams have been 6 for Bermuda. Put it in the back of the net for the opening goal. Remember the stakes. Cuba needed a win or a draw to make it into the third and final round of qualifiers. Bermuda needed the win to make it through, and Perfect Williams with the opening goal had put them on their way. Cuba, good opportunities in the first half, controlling the ball, difficulty in getting clean shots. Got a couple opportunities this